there, and welcome. You know that feeling, right? You spend time and energy fixing a problem, you feel good about it, and then, a week later, it's back. It is one of the most frustrating things in the world, whether you're at work or just dealing with something at home. Well, today we are going to dig into why that keeps happening, and more importantly, how you can stop it for good. I mean, it's the million-dollar question, isn't it? That leaky faucet you've patched up 3 times, that same annoying bug in a piece of software, or that recurring miscommunication you keep having with a coworker. We put a fix in place, we deal with the symptom, but the problem itself, it just keeps coming back, like it has a mind of its own. And the reason why is pretty simple when you break it down. We get stuck applying what's called a correction. It's basically just a Band-Aid. It stops the immediate bleeding, it manages the issue right in front of us. But what we're really after is preventive action. That's the cure. That's the thing you do that makes sure this exact problem can never, ever happen again. So how in the world do we find that cure? Well, it all starts with learning how to dig. We have to move beyond the surface-level symptoms and find the real underlying failure. And lucky for us, there's a whole process for this. And honestly, it's a total game changer for how you look at problems. It's called root cause analysis, or RCA for short. Now, this isn't about wild guesses or trying to figure out who to blame. No. It's a structured, methodical process for investigating an issue. Think of it like being a detective. You're looking for the fundamental reasons something went wrong so you can design a fix that actually lasts. And the goals here are really powerful. We are not just looking for another quick fix. The whole point is to identify truly permanent solutions. It's about preventing those annoying, recurring failures. And maybe best of all, it gives you a logical, repeatable process you can use to tackle pretty much any problem that comes your way. Okay, this quote right here, this is the absolute heart and soul of root cause analysis. It completely flips the script. Instead of asking who messed up, you start asking what system or process failed that allowed this problem to happen in the first place. See the difference? It takes the focus off blaming people and puts it where it belongs, on improving the systems around them. So this all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually do it? Let's get practical and look at 2 incredibly powerful, but also really simple tools that anyone can start using, like today. First up is a classic, the 5 whys. And it is beautifully simple. It's a question-asking method where you just keep asking why. It helps you drill down through the different layers of a problem, kind of like peeling an onion, to uncover the real cause and effect relationship hiding at the center. All right, let's see this in action. Imagine an operator on a production line uses the wrong ingredient. The easy answer is operator error, right? Case closed. But that solves nothing for the future. So let's ask why. Why did they make the error? Because they were unfamiliar with the procedure. Okay, why was the training not good enough? Turns out they were trained, but there was no supervision or formal sign-off. Why were they confused in the first place? Because the 2 ingredients look identical and weren't labeled. And why weren't they labeled? Because the labels got removed during cleaning and weren't put back. And now for the final, most important why. Why weren't they replaced? Because checking labels after cleaning wasn't officially part of anyone's duties. Wow. In just 5 questions, we went from blaming a person to finding a huge hole in the process. And boom, there it is. What we first thought was operator error was actually just the symptom of several much deeper system failures. We have an incomplete training procedure, a faulty cleaning process that creates a hazard, and a total lack of a post-cleaning check. See? Now we have real problems that we can actually go and fix permanently. Okay, so the 5 whys is great for straightforward problems. But what about more complex issues where there could be a dozen potential causes? For that, there's an amazing visual tool called the fishbone diagram. It helps you brainstorm and organize every single possibility so nothing gets overlooked. The bones of the fish are these common categories, and they're just here to get you thinking. So for our ingredient example, under people, you'd put the training issue. Under processes, you'd put the lack of a label check. Under materials, you'd list the identical-looking ingredients. This structure just forces you and your team to look at the problem from all these different angles. It's a great way to make sure you haven't missed the real culprit. All right, so now that you've got the tools, we need to talk about a few really common traps that people fall into. Seriously, avoiding these is the key to making sure your analysis actually gets you to a real lasting solution and doesn't just waste your time. So, trap number 1, and it's the biggest one by far, is stopping at human error. Saying the root cause is inexperience is super easy, but it's a dead end. It doesn't help you fix anything.
Instead, you have to ask why that inexperience led to a problem. The real root cause isn't the person. It's that the system for checking if the training was effective completely failed. That is a process you can fix.
The second trap is landing on a conclusion that you have zero control over. Things like lack of resources or we don't have enough staff. I mean, these might be true, but they're not actionable root causes. You have to push one step further. The manageable, fixable cause isn't not enough people. It's that the procedure had no backup plan for when key staff were absent. You can write a new procedure. You can't just magically create more budget.
And the final trap is a subtle one, confusing monitoring with prevention. So let's say the hot water keeps going out. A solution like add a daily check for hot water doesn't solve the problem. It just means you'll find out it's broken faster. That's monitoring. A real preventive solution, like installing an automatic timer on the boiler, stops the problem from happening in the first place. The goal is to engineer the failure right out of the system.
So what's the big takeaway here? What does this all add up to? Well, this is about more than just a couple of techniques. It's a fundamental shift in how you approach challenges. It is all about learning to solve smarter, not harder. This right here is your new problem-solving mindset. From now on, whenever a problem pops up, your first instinct should be to immediately shift your focus away from people and onto the process. Keep asking why, like a curious kid, until you literally can't anymore. Always be hunting for the system failure that allowed a human error to happen. And once you find that system failure, fix the system, and you'll create a solution that actually lasts. So, I'm going to leave you with a question to chew on. Think about that one annoying, frustrating, recurring problem you've been putting up with. At your job, in your house, anywhere. What do you think you might discover if you decided to finally dig a little deeper and just ask why one more time?